Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Rorixon, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
Rowan, you might know me as Mocha. I brought the Palafriends to Orlando.
And this is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Unova.
Oh yeah. So we both brought Palafin, and we both did very differently with it.
I was telling this man that he needs Wave Crash up until the day of the event.
Okay. I still believe that my Palafin set can do work.
I think it can do things, but I think you need to play it totally differently than the regular Palafin.
Absolutely.
And I can't give you advice on that.
Nope, that makes sense. I've already made changes to my team. I've already tested them, and I like my team 10 times more in the last day than this past weekend.
Does it have Wave Crash?
Maybe. Anyway. I'm trying out Wave Crash. I still have my other Palafin. I did not release them all. I was very tempted to be like, all of you, just go.
Just releasing these like crazy All Might fish into the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's got to be not good for the ecosystem, right? Release like a level 100
base 160 attack
punchy boy.
Borderline legendaries, yeah.
With punching gloves. I believe in it.
I'm telling you, you will not be able to resist the drug of Okoing resisted hits. Like,
that is a good feeling.
It's
actually
insane.
That's the Zacian.
It's the Zacian feel, but
it is.
In a non-restricted format.
I've already done that. I went on ladder today, and I was like, I'm just gonna do a few games, and I have Wave Crash, and I have Mystic Water, and I have Rain.
Yeah. There's nothing better. You're just like, well, like they Terra Grass and they just still die from 100, and you're just like, well, I'm not even sure I expected that. But
it is glorious. Anyway, Orlando was this past weekend. Rowan and I got to go. Sheldon was dearly missed. We'll catch you at Knoxville.
But yeah, we got Knoxville in a couple weeks.
Are you going to Knoxville, Rowan?
I am, yeah. So
that's right.
Yeah,
we're all there.
Orlando was me seeing all the guys from Pokesports and a bunch of other people, but Knoxville for me is going to be my like local Georgia community, and you guys.
There's still a ton of people going too, so.
Yeah. It's almost 800 registered already. Like it's effectively going to be Orlando size.
That's crazy.
I don't have it pulled up. Wasn't it you who were showing me that they were trying to like sell spots back?
That was at Orlando.
That was Orlando. Yeah.
I don't want to put my claim that from myself, but that isn't like firsthand knowledge. There was just a tweet that was from I forget who now, but they were a relatively high profile player who said
they were offering people like $350 or something like that.
Yeah, not even in cash, just in credit towards your travel to Knoxville. And we were with a couple of Canadian guys who had spent double that just on flights to get down to Orlando. So I was like, yeah, that's cute, but nah.
That's pretty wild. Gotcha. Yeah, the current registration for Knoxville as of time of recording is 762.
The cap is 767 according to Victory Road.
Oh, cool. I know they had that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're right there, right at that cap. I gotta be honest. Yeah. They opened up 100 slots for Orlando, right?
Yep.
The like week
and
before.
Now I wish they didn't. So
but
we missed the kicker by 20 people because it went over 850 and then 70 didn't show.
I'm telling you,
so we should
have just taken the 23 seniors and made them masters for the tournament. Right. Would have hit the kicker. But yeah, that the extra equipment they got because I ventured down to the low tables or high number tables, whatever, the bad tables. And they did those. The new equipment was not good, not as bulky and nice as the majority of the little Switch docks they had.
Well, maybe Knoxville has some time to learn and go ahead and gather the resources, not a week before.
That's true. Anyway, what do you want to talk about for Orlando?
Oh man, we could talk about our specific runs. We could talk about I met a lot of cool people, a lot of people I'd already known. We just got to hang out with them. I got to talk to Calvin, who made the Beery. Harrison and I were both there. It was really cool getting to talk to another developer who has like is trying to make tooling to make the community better. And he wasn't. Babiri is not even his latest project. Is more on this order bot on Twitter. Yeah, which may or may not be long for this world with the way Twitter bots are going right now.
Yeah.
Our electric car friend is trying to shut that down, but just talking, like we should collaborate more. It'll be there's a lot of cool stuff that
I was going to say there's a handful of people in the community who want to build something, but everyone's building their own thing. So why can't we all just build one thing together?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
I saw some really cool teams there. There was I think like probably the story of the weekend. I mean, two of them. We can go into all of like. I mean, obviously, there's Wolf's big win, and I think that deserves a lot more jumping into, but because no one saw Perish Song winning. But Freezeye is a Smogon content creator. I hadn't actually watched their stuff before because I don't watch a lot of Smogon, but apparently they're very big, kind of run the same kind of like rage reaction stuff as like Weedle and Temp and all those folks, or it's like people getting salty on Showdown when you run something goofy against them. But they went 9-0. Their only loss was in the final round against Emilio, who went 10-0. So I mean, this person just came out of nowhere. Apparently they were coached by Paul, believe it or not, like who was also there. It's really cool to see Paul Ruiz, who's done coaching for, if not all of us, then at least a couple of us.
Yeah,
I need to get in on that.
Yeah, then maybe just Cap and I. But yeah, I mean, it was really cool to meet the person who's coached me online for years now. And yeah, the Freezeye got coached by Paul and went 9-0 in their first VGC event. It was crazy. I think some people just have the gift for it. But yeah, that was just going straight from Smogon into that. And I ran into a Smogon player in my sets. I barely beat them. It was at the 5-2 point, I think. And so we were both 5-2 at the time, and they were running some crazy stuff. But I think they just think about team building differently than we do, based on playing a completely different format. But it worked. Was seeing like Scope Lens Gallade with Terra Grass and Leaf Blade and like other crit moves. So you're hitting sharpness with guaranteed crits.
I've ran into that before on ladder.
Yeah, so that was like, I had seen that before, but it's uncommon. What I wasn't prepared for was the Arcanine with Howl next to Roaring Moon with Tailwind.
Yeah, you were talking about this.
I was talking about this at the event. It was actually wild. I was like, I saw it on the sheet and it just didn't register in my head until they clicked the buttons. I was like, oh no, like this Roaring Moon has Photosynthesis and a +1 and Tailwind, and it resists my Palafin. And like, what do I do? And I barely got out of that because Goldingo bailed me out. But like, that was horrifying. It's like Arcanine is pretty much just Zamazenta at home. It's got Intimidate instead of Dauntless Shield. It's got Howl. Yeah. Like it's got Snarl. It's got it doesn't have Wide Guard.
It's actually Zamazenta aspires to be.
High praise.
Oh god, yeah. So like very cool to see this kind of stuff. I mean, I you kind of expect to see some wacky stuff at the beginning, but not like if you're doing well in several rounds in. Speaking of at the beginning, I had the misfortune of playing Joe UX9 in round 1 and just got completely dunked on.
So that's a great story, and you should definitely talk about it. But you should also mention what happened directly before you got stomped on by Joe UX9.
Oh, yeah. So, as in like the
hour-long wait.
Organizational challenges, yeah. We sat down. At first, I thought this was going to be better. So in San Diego, what they did was they sat us down in alphabetical order, and they're like, this is going to make it easier for us to distribute your team sheets to you. We're all given printed-out team sheets to hand to our opponents every round. And then you go and fight your first-round opponent. And that seemed pointless. Like, you can just have the sheets in the order that we're sitting with our first-round opponents. Like, like you shouldn't be making us play musical chairs for no reason. So they tried to do that this time. We all sat down. I saw Joe UX9. That's cool. Like, it's someone I've always wanted to talk to. So it was awesome to chat with this guy. And we're still chatting for like 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 30 minutes. And we sat down at 8:30 and we didn't start playing until 9:45, I think.
Yep, that's right. And
I don't know how true this is, but what I had heard was that their printer broke. They were starting to print them that morning. And someone was sent off on a like FedEx Kinko's trip to go and just get the rest of the sheets and run back to the convention center and give everybody their sheets. I don't know if that's true, but it's as good a guess as any as to why we were sitting doing nothing for over an hour. At first it was like awesome to talk to this person I wanted to, and after a while I was like, oh my god, just like kill me. Like, can you just beat me and get this over with?
You should have been like, hey, since we're spending so much time together, can you coach me on how to win?
Do you have any pointers for my team?
Yeah.
What are you running?
Here are my spreads. Here's everything.
Yeah, Joe was running the most like bog standard, just good player. Exactly what I thought was going to win this tournament, like the good stuff. Iron Hands, Iron Bundle, Arcanine, Garganacle, that kind of thing. Sure. Garganicle. And
one of those.
Game 1 he completely just he wrecked me. Game 1. Game 2 I was doing pretty well. But it came down to there was a play where I was swapping my Amoonguss was salt cured, and I swapped it into my Palafin and my Pelipper, and he read it and put a Thunder Punch into the Amoonguss slot and killed the Pelipper in one hit. I was like, it's not that crazy of a read because he like knew that I wanted to get Amoonguss out, but I was really considering protecting or pollen puffing there. And I was like, no, he got me. And, like I saw like the visible pop off when he saw the switch.
Yeah, that's also just. Story of
it's good player stuff.
Great players, yeah.
It's like, I'm not remotely mad. Like he 100% was the better player there, but yeah, it was cool to see that kind of thing.
Oh, he had a Mimikyu on his team.
He did, yeah. The Life Orb Mimikyu, which was a lot. I don't think it did super well in this event, but it was pretty up there in terms of people's usage. Like people were really doing well with it in Series 1. I think San Diego had a few offensive Mimikyus that did really well.
Yeah, that's just a Mimikyu that goes fast and goes hard. I like it. Yeah, during that hour and a half waiting period or whatever before round 1, I was trying to convince everyone around me to either let's go do some Terra raids or play some Mario Kart, and no one was biting.
No one took you up on it over an hour? Jeez.
Like, come on, guys.
This is very serious business. We are here to play a children's game incredibly seriously.
You gotta stay focused.
Nah, clearly that didn't work for me. What else was super cool? What else did you see at Orlando that was an impressive or different or out of left field team?
Oh, in terms of teams, huh? There's nothing that wild, honestly. Like most people played fairly standard. I was happy that I got a bunch of Spam practice with Kevin from Pokesports and Bruno from Georgia. Like I did play a couple of Armor Rouge and DD teams, so that was good. But I mean, that's not exactly out there, right? I think the Smogon guy was like the real like out of left field wackiness.
Sure.
I did play and lose to a really just solid like bulky screens team. I was like I saw a lot of Sword Stance Iron Hands, which is not unusual, but it's not the most common. Like most people run Assault Vest. Yeah. And as it turns out, +2 Iron Hands is horrifying.
It can do some damage.
I can imagine.
It can do some damage, and that damage turns into healing.
Yeah. Drain Punch.
Drain Punch.
And like, yeah, it doesn't have AV, but then it just runs 252 special defense.
Yeah.
And like,
and just win. No,
I knew that was
a set going in, and I was debating using a set like that because some people that I was practicing with from Florida did that, or were suggesting it, but I was like, I like my set, and then I realized I don't like my set because it wasn't that good. I needed something for the Iron Hands matchup, and I took it off my team before Florida. So that's a big sad.
Oh, rip. Yeah, I was a bit sad about my ending. I was doing really well. I got to 6-2, and my only losses were against Joe and this guy named Jeremy Gross, who I hadn't heard of, but apparently they're quite good and have been around since like early 2010s. Like someone made a joke about them this being their first tournament, and I was next to Wolfie. I was next to Wolfie twice during this, and he just like burst out laughing. And I was like, what's so funny? I was like, this guy's been around like as long as I have. I'm like, neat. All right. But like I was feeling really good, and then I lost the match that would get me points at 7-3 with a turn 1 freeze. It was very upsetting. I've already talked people's ears off about this in person, and I was very. It was sad, but
not our listeners.
That's very
not our listeners. Yeah,
that's so unfortunate though.
Because I had like I led Palafin Goldengo every game, but it's kind of a mind game as to whether I'm always going to switch Palafin probably, right? I could protect it, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. So I could swap Palafin and attack, or I could swap Palafin and protect with Goldie. And I protected the first turn, and they doubled my protect, and I won that. because they wasted a turn and let me have full grown Palafin. And then the next game I swapped Palafin and Terra Steel, make it rained, and I almost killed both their mons, and I was in such a good position, but because they doubled into the Palafin that turn instead. But and I brought Iron Hands in, and unfortunately one of those attacks was a freeze dry, and I got the freeze, and in retrospect, I kind of panicked and like just kept trying to stall until I unfroze, until I thawed. But I probably should have just my opponent just took advantage of it really well and was just like, I'm never attacking that slot. Like, chances are you're not thawing, so I'm just gonna keep attacking your other slot. And in retrospect, I should have just protected Goldie the next turn, or I guess I protected then, so I couldn't have. But like, I'm talking a lot. I should have just swapped the Iron Hands out and tried to win with the 3 mons I had, right? Because instead of banking on a thaw.
Yeah, freezing is so like.
I got a really
swingy.
nice freeze off. I got a really nice freeze off with a freeze dry, and then the immediate next opportunity that I think it was also an Iron Hands that it could move, it thawed out, and then I was like, come on.
That's kind of what I was. I forgot all my numbers. I don't know what the chance of thaw is. I think it's really low. It's like 10% or something stupid. But like
30.
It's
30.
Is it 30? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I got really unlucky because I was frozen for 5 turns.
We did cover that in the
game was
Back to
finally
Basics
over.
episode like 2 months ago.
This was the final round. This was 10 rounds in. I could barely remember my own name at that point. Like,
Dude, 10 rounds is a slog.
it's a lot.
This is my first regionals, and honestly, the rate I was going, I should have dropped. I should have just stopped and then done anything else. But I was like, you know what? No, I want to go to all 10 rounds. I want to know what it's like to do that.
The answer is it's awful.
Yeah, it is awful. It's terrible. It was over 12 hours from start to finish because of the hour-long delay. It didn't help. But like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was rough. And it's crazy. Like, I was thinking about it, like my really good run was at Secaucus. I went 6-2. I was 6-2 at this tournament. But like, I was already fading in New Jersey when I played, and I was fading this time, and it really showed. Those last 2 sets I did not play as well as I could have. I think I faked out on a second turn or something like that. Like, it was just brain turning to mush at some point.
That's too long to be playing, Pokemon straight.
Because you really do have to be fully mentally there for every turn.
Yeah,
and it's a lot. Yeah, I don't know if I
especially
need to,
the more you win,
meds or something. But
the more you win, the more those like later matches are important. Like each match gets more and more important. So
they
like
get harder, not easier as time goes on. Generally, at least. Yeah. Like
Yep. But that brings us to a fun little piece of news that we just got this week.
Yeah.
As of I think the 21st of February, so before any next regional, they did opt to change the format to do day 2 Swiss for VG, which is super exciting.
It's really nice. So I will say that I think day 2 is going to be only for people who go X and 2.
Yes.
If I recall, and when it's as many people as, at least that's what I've heard. I that is the educated guess. I don't know that we have an official word on that yet.
I'm trying to read the document. I was pulling it up right before we started recording.
But like day 2 will be reserved for people who did well. It's not everybody plays a second round of Swiss, right? And from what I heard, we would still be playing 9 rounds day 1.
Day 1 still not up to 9 rounds. Yeah.
Well, and with as many people as there are at Knoxville, it will be 9 rounds.
It's going to be 9 rounds because the cutoff, the range for day 2 Swiss is a minimum of, take a guess.
128.
5 rounds? Sorry.
No, so the minimum number of players to go into day 2 Swiss. Like for day 2 Swiss to happen.
I haven't seen this. I think it's a couple hundred people. I think
it's only 227.
Yeah, so we'll get day 2 pretty much every event.
Yep, and it's day 1 Swiss is 9 rounds. Day 2 is 5.
5 and then top cut
and then top cut. Yeah. So that is baffling. It's a top cut of 8.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah, it's not a 32
it's
top
cut. It's not 16 or 32 anymore. Yep. So that's definitely changed. We're following the TCG in that sense, which is still a lot, but probably better.
It's still better. Yeah.
I mean, granted, that means you are going to be there a lot longer day 2 if you do like reasonably well, right? Like I was in the car driving home at like 3:00 and 6-hour drive, so I was home around like 9ish. And my buddy Bruno, who was driving with me, he was pulling out his phone and he's like, people are still playing cut in TCG right now as we were pulling up at home.
Yeah.
We're getting close at least. It was kind of wild.
So if you do well, going to take the next day off at work.
Right.
I mean, at least I'm driving to Knoxville. So if it turns out that way, then it's not the end of the world. And it's only a 3-hour drive instead of 6 this time.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours for me.
I'm flying, but I'm fine on day 2.
Don't count yourself. I think so. We learned a lot in terms of what works and what doesn't here. I think that Knoxville is going to be easier is the wrong word, maybe because everyone else also knows what works now.
That's true.
Right? But you don't have to start from zero in terms of your team building. What I found is like I got very comfortable with my team, but the very blatant truth was that Pelipper is not good in this format. I was like, so many of the Paradox Mons just completely nuke it. Hey, they got more results than Sableye. I'm just gonna
No, do not blame Sableye. You got better results than me.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
I called it though. I'm like, Pelipper is not the play. I didn't like it.
Rain in general
but it
isn't
just
the play.
dies.
Rain in general is great.
The rain itself was fantastic. I loved having the rain. It's just that was my only option to set it.
Yeah.
Like,
which is weird. I'm looking at the usage numbers, and actually Pelipper performed better than Torkoal.
Did it really?
I mean, Torkoal's...
You had one Pelipper make top cut and no Torkoals make top cut.
Yeah.
And they were both at 8.5 and 8.2%.
I will
usage.
say, like, every Torkoal I saw was real sad to see my Pelipper. I was like...
I really thought that Torkoal would have a better showing in this event than it did.
I think that this was something that a lot of content creators were already talking about prior to the event, that Torkoal is not as good as people expected it to be, during Series 1. Like, people thought that when Paradox Mons came in that we'd be seeing like a huge surge of
people trying to get the boost, but
right,
it's just not worth it because Torkoal wants to be slow. It wants hard trick room. It wants to be slow,
yep.
And all the Protomons, except for Brute Bonnet, I guess, really want to be fast.
That's true.
Even Brute Bonnet isn't like slow.
It's not the slowest.
And Brute Bonnet can go fast. If you go Adamant 252, it hits 112. It outspeeds Dragapult and Tailwind. Make that thing fast too.
Adamant? You mean Jolly?
Adamant. Jolly goes even higher.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you don't need that as the fastest thing in the format is Dragapult. Yeah, might as well get the power out of it.
Yep.
Right.
I think Brute Bonnet did surprisingly well. I mean, Ashton Cox, who got second, had one on his team.
9% made top cut.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to point out though that Wolf did have an Amoonguss, so it's very funny to see one beat the other.
And as it turns out, Amoonguss beats the. I mean, I don't think Ashton ever brought Bonnet, but in that set, but
no.
Yeah, Amoonguss really dominates on Bonnet as it turns out.
Amoonguss is just good. Yeah, Pollen Puff is very good.
Yes.
It's just a better typing. Grass Dark is just not a good typing.
The issue is that people just like. I think they finally started to get the idea later in, and obviously Ashton did if he got second out of 800 people. But like Bonnet is closer to
720, 780.
Yeah,
so sad.
Don't remind me. Yeah, so Bonnet is closer to Breloom than it is to Amoonguss. Like you said, terrible defensive typing, but it just needs to be run offensively.
It's just strong, and you got Spore there just to make things hard on people.
Yeah, and like our friend Kevin, he was running it with loaded dice on Bullet Seed, and that's actually really scary.
That's the tech though for it. Like it's better than Seed Bomb.
Yeah, you're always hitting 4 times and sometimes 5. You high roll that. That's 100% accuracy. What, like base 100, base 120 or something?
100 for 4.
Oh, 100. Yeah.
25 each.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so 125 potentially, 100 guaranteed. That's actually insane. And you break through subs and sashes and all that.
Yep.
I was playing a practice game with him and in like an earlier version of my team, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna click sub in front of this thing. Like, oh no.
Yeah, I think to quote Kevin one moment between rounds when we were all meeting up, he's like, "Who would have guessed that loaded dice is a good item?" He was very happy with results.
We were all like talking trash on loaded dice. And that was like one of the 3 items they revealed early. I was like, no, that
it's
Brute Bonnet, Baxcalibur. It's
good. Say Baxcalibur, like that was the thing out of the first.
When we're in a non-restricted format with legendaries again at some point, Glastrier with loaded dice Icicle Spear is actually going to be really good.
That'll be very good.
Yeah.
It'll be strong, because that's a way better ice attack if you guarantee
than Icicle Spear, or than Icicle Crash.
Icicle
Absolutely.
Crash.
It's so much better. 100% accurate and stronger, sometimes much, much stronger.
Yep.
And like you're not really going to want to run weakness policy sets like we did in Dynamax. So like, that's going to be nuts.
But it gets them used to some of those. Like, I've seen things running Pin Missile. Like I've seen what's the
Iron Thorns?
Yeah. I've seen that running.
T-tar.
Yep. Terra Bug.
It's not good, but it is. It's not good, but it is cute.
But yeah, it's cute.
Yes.
That's a good word.
Rock Blast is if you don't want to be that crazy.
I used to run Rock Blast back at like when I first started VGC on my Rhyperior for Mimikyus.
Oh,
that is a good Mimikyu.
Do you know how nice that was? Always fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do we want to jump into the Wolfie part of this now?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think like as cool as all the other stuff we saw at this regional was, I think that was just absolutely wild that Perish Song with Screamtail turned out to be the play. I've been saying this is good for a long time. I was just also like knew that I was not good enough to pilot it. And
it was an impressive. His top cut run was actually like probably one of the most impressive. Like of all the Wolfie moments, like that was probably one of the best like plays.
Yeah.
Beating Emilio.
Yeah,
like,
and I didn't get to watch that. I woke up too late.
Oh,
but, yeah, we partied a little bit after it was over. But like, oh God, it's actually insane. Like Emilio went 10-0, and then at least from what I'd heard and saw of the set, like it was just domination. Like there's literally not in terms. I don't think. I think my personal opinion is that Wolf is the best player ever. Like that is my genuine opinion. But I don't think the gap between him and Emilio is that large. I just think that the teams matched up in such a way that there's literally nothing that Emilio could do in that scenario.
And Wolf was just playing crack though. I mean, he was like I said, it was just like you said, it was a master class where he
like oh you click a specs move. I hope you enjoy disable. Like who saw disable coming?
But just the way he ran the trap to his Palafin, the way he played it was great.
I am very excited to see, and also very sad to see Palafin in that top team.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, he made the call that Palafin didn't need rain, so I mean, but he went Terra Water instead, which
helps a lot
to get that power. Yeah.
Yep.
I was debating trying to run our team without rain, and
I think you need the Terra Water in that case if you're doing that.
That might be true.
I'll agree.
Like,
you get that extra damage.
We have the rain, and that allows us to click Go Terra Grass, which is really helpful because it lets you get around Amoonguss and resist Iron Hands. But Wolf knows better than any of us, obviously. And
very true. His team was Screamtail with booster energy
on speed. Yeah.
Is this?
Although it's not max speed, I have all the EVs here. He posted the full paste.
Yeah, it's not. It's 100 speed.
Yeah, it's just 100 speed Jolly, but that's enough to give it the boost on speed. Which
So I'm guessing this is legit because I'm looking at so on VGC paste you can see this whole.
I mean, Wolf himself shared it, so it's legit. Yeah.
The Screamtail's name is
and the
Flutterman's
name is E.
Gothitelle is Go Bird. Amoonguss is Amogus. I need a hero with Palafin. Very good. And then Awu is Arcanine. Good job, Wolf. Good job. I love it.
It was actually really crazy thing. Bruno, who I was driving back with, is like good friends with Ashton Cox, and so we were apparently we were talking about this, and so this Arcanine is interesting. It's Jolly, but it's 252 attack, which I've never seen before. Actually, it clearly is there for a purpose to get rid of certain threats. The main threat is Goldengo. And Goldengo is like normally you don't run it bulky or not with that much bulk anyway, so like it's not going to take a 252 attack Flare Blitz. And Wolf was saying in his own video about this that I had never seen a Goldengo live, but apparently Ashton's Goldengo was super slow and bulky and was calced to live almost any Jolly Arcanine Flare Blitz.
It was a 50-50 roll,
max.
Right?
Yep, 50-50 was the roll, and Wolf won the roll both times. And I don't know that Ashton wins if he lives it, but he does a lot better if he gets the Make It Rain off.
If he, at least, it is close.
Oh, it happened.
Okay. You're there. All right, cool.
Yeah.
It's been a while since that happened.
I know.
It's so cool. Actually, there's a lot of Gothitelle in Top Cut.
I was kind of impressed.
And like not even necessarily always with Parish Song. It looks like a lot of people are going with this like soft Parish mode now with Goth plus Fluttermane. That no one else went the hard mode like Wolf did with the Screamtail as well.
But Gothitelle is
still a pretty cool little mode. Yeah, exactly. There's a couple, or at least one Goth I saw in there who was running without Parish Song at all. It's just like a purely supportive set, like Fake Out, Heal Pulse. And like Shadow Tag is a good ability.
Yeah.
Not being able to switch
there's one.
Rough.
Oh, Brendan Zhang's team. That was Brendan Zhang's.
Yeah, I've actually been really happy looking at the Top Cut. There's a lot of Dragonites. I think it's kind of weird in this.
Dragonite was the best performing out of the top 30 in usage.
Yeah, it's really good. This is kind of like one of those things where I realize that I'm like not on the same, obviously not the echelon of the people winning, but even like a lot of the folks just doing relatively well. Like I feel like I need permission from these people to like think that something's good or bad, you know? Like if something's not obviously top tier, I'm not gonna bring it to a regional until I know for a fact it can perform. And like now it's like I will probably bring Dragonite to Knoxville. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I was like, it clearly can work. I just need to find like the way that it works.
That and T-Tar
within a team I want to run.
T-Tar
did surprisingly
really
well.
good. It was second, and then Dondozo was third, as far as like top cut percentage.
And
how many dozos did you face, Rowan?
0, which is really upsetting because I had Haze on my Palafin, and I got a little bit of use out of it. I reset an Iron Hands' Swords Dance.
Yeah, I don't think Haze is as good right in this series.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's amazing against Dozo. Every time I run into a Dozo, I have like a 95% win rate against Dozo at this point. Like it's really good, but I didn't fight a single one, and that upset me.
It was
I only fought one.
It was only 19th and 20th in usage, so.
Well, I will say
that's a lot lower than you would think.
It's still extremely good in the right hands. This is the 3rd regional in a row where it's been a finalist.
That's true.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, like, and I say the 3rd in the row, there hasn't been another one. There have been 3 regionals, and in all 3 regionals, we have seen a Dozo in finals, and it won one of them.
I think though this is what Cole would have been if we had a regular series. It would have been colossal like that. It might not win every single one of them. Too. But you're going to see it in Top Cut, and you're going to see it like do super well.
Yeah, but only in the hands of really good players, right? Because bad players playing Cole is like, why are you sitting here for my Max Quake? But they did.
Yep.
It's super cool to see. Like I gotta say, like I personally as a player miss Dynamax quite a bit. I think I was better with it than I am with Terra and with all this, but I think that this generation is a much more skillful game than Gen 8 was.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think I feel myself getting better too. Like 6-4 is a better result than 5-5. So, you know, just in terms of raw numbers, sure. But like it is, you have to think so much harder about every turn. I think there were a lot of autopilot turns in Swish that just simply
you're
don't
not going to get
anymore.
here. Yeah.
It's very difficult to flowchart things now compared to how it used to be outside of like kind of gimmicks. You know?
You get a little more, it's a bit more diversity in a way.
I would say a lot more like because there's some crazy stuff out there that works.
Yeah. Because I mean, in Sword and Shield, you know, with Dynamax, you have to take into account, you know, Dynamax to use the gimmick to take advantage of it. And this, you don't as much. Like you can get away with, you know, you wouldn't be running Booster Energy Acrobatics on something, you know,
right?
Like you wouldn't have been doing that in Sword and Shield.
It's just a lot harder to use better. I mean, Dynamax it was a nuke button. It was I'm going to get bulkier and stronger. Like Terra only does that if you're really thinking your way through, and it can hurt you. You can accidentally mess yourself up with Terra. Like the worst way you could mess yourself up with Dynamax was wasting it, but it was never going to be a bad thing. Yep. It was like the bad part was that you wanted to use it later, but it's still going to do something for you now, right?
Yep.
Terra can actively hurt you if you're not careful.
You can swap to a type, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, like if they protect or something, they get some information, and all of a sudden you're weak. to everything that they got.
I mean, it's kind of part of my it's that kind of mistake is kind of part of my strategy in certain matchups with this team. It's like, okay, like you're going to Terra Fire in this scenario, like to deal with my lead, but then you're going to have to deal with Palafin later, and you're not going to want to fight me as Terra Fire. But like that was like a big part of my Annihilate matchup at one point. Yeah,
I mean, that's a good point. Like I've done the same thing, trying to put people in positions where they want to Terra in a way that I know they're going to Terra, and then
Yep.
But even that is like dynamic from game to game, because Terra can be one of 18 types. And so like
on one of 6 Pokemon and 4 Pokemon.
And then if you're in a position you have to make a read and they don't Terra when you think, like that right there can also blow a game wide open too.
It's a very difficult mind game, and it's relatively common too. So like the one that I run into a lot is Iron Hands versus Roaring Moon. Is that obviously I want to Drain Punch that thing because it's Dark type, but its most common Terra type is Flying, which I can hit with Wild Charge. But do I call it? Or
which it would resist Wild Charge if it doesn't Terra.
Exactly. So it's really difficult, and some of them literally run Ice Punch for this reason, just so it can hit both types.
And but
you really want the Volt Switch, so it's interesting. Like you can tech around these things, but yeah, there's a lot of reads involved now.
Mm-hmm. I think that was one of the biggest things too with Wolf's team. That is the first thing jumped out at me when I looked at it. Is every single Pokemon has Protect.
Yep.
And I think
Protect is massive. You can scout.
Yes, and it helps because if they're in position like, oh, okay, I can Terra now and pick up a KO. Well, oh wait, I just protected. So now, a lot of people complain about the open team cheats and you're losing the information game, but it's still a big information game. Like you have the data in front of you, but you don't know when or how it's going to be used.
The scouting and the information is more of how they're gonna how they're gonna play, how they're gonna use it, what they're gonna do with what they have. You can see the tools.
Yeah.
But
so
what are they gonna do?
You don't. So we haven't lost the whole aspect of conditioning your opponent. Showing information, showing your hand, showing how you're gonna play a situation. Like you still have. There's still information is huge still, and you see that like with Wolfie winning with his team because that's what that team was all about. Like a team like that, you have to really be able to figure out your lines.
Like you don't win with Hard Perish without playing flawlessly. You mess up one turn and they kill your Goth and they swap out and you go from double KOing to no KOs. And there were games he won where he had literally 0 offense. The only way that he was going to break them was by killing with Perish Song.
Well, his team barely has offense anyway. Like if you look at the team, like
it's Palafin.
It's Palafin. I mean, Fluttermane, sure. Or no,
Yeah, it's Palafin, Fluttermane, and to some degree Arcanine because it's at least max invested, right? But Arcanine is not very strong. 110, is it 105? I can't remember, but like it's okay.
Just over 100
attack. Yeah, it's okay in terms of attack. But he had 2 real attacking mons and 1 hybrid mon, and that's it.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to really because he had to protect the Palafin. Like you're having to play that game where you really if it goes down, you lose all your offense.
Yeah, I do think Protect on Palafin is the play personally.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's why Protect is the best move in the game.
It really is.
I like seeing that. Even on his Gothitelle, sometimes you don't see Gothitelles with Protect. Like, I just like that.
You need it for Perish Song. But yeah, you're totally right. Like this information game is so important. I don't think that anyone brings Hard Perish to a tournament without. I mean, people did used to, right? But with Terra and everything, I think you need this information, or you can't make those flawless plays.
Yeah.
Yep.
100% agree.
What else we got? I bought Big Sprig back there.
Oh yeah. If you're watching the video, you can see big old Sprigatito.
The best $90 I've ever spent.
I'm so sad that I did not get there early enough on Friday to buy it.
Word of advice: if you want to buy merch, go the day before because it will all be sold out by the first day you actually play. It will all be gone unless you like cards. Then it's really good. But
yes, if you want cardboard, it's all there. What else was there for Orlando? Some cool things. I'm trying to look at Top Cut, see if there's anything super interesting. Oh, how much Garg did you see?
A couple.
Other things we were thinking of, like the last episode. I don't remember what we said last episode, but we had predictions. So
I fought a Joe had one and beat me thoroughly with it. I fought one that was from a guy who actually turned out to be from Atlanta, which was cool.
Cool.
Invited him to Georgia VGC stuff. But I beat that one. That was Wave Crash, very very useful. And the last one I think was on the team that I got frozen against, which was unfortunate. But c'est la vie. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few, but they're all the same. I think every Garg I've seen is the same, except for the Terra
exactly the same moves. Terra Poison or Ghost. That's it.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
They've all dropped grass at this point too. It is literally those two types.
Yeah. I'm not seeing that many.
Great Tusk has gotten really good. I think I'm running Great Tusk.
Great Tusk is very good.
You have so far said you're going to run 2 new Pokemon for Knoxville.
Dragonite,
I'm thinking.
Tusk.
It's actually a really good combination. Right now I'm thinking Dragonite, Great Tusk, Talonflame is a pretty fun core, because then you get 2 Mons you can Earthquake next to. Yeah.
I just look at their
Flying Terra Blast is really good on Dragonite, as it turns out.
Yes.
That would be, I'm looking at Top Cut. There is a team with a Drift Bloom and a Lycanroc on the same team in Top Cut.
Wait, which one is that?
Ian McLaughlin.
Okay. I did play a T-Tar-San team, and it was that was one of the few rounds where I was just like, I'm going to slaughter you. Like, this is not going to go well for you.
But
like,
apparently,
Goldengo,
one made
unset your weather. Yeah, I mean, good players are scary.
That's true. Yeah, that's the Endeavor set, so that makes sense.
Yeah. But it's just wild seeing a Drift Bloom there with Acrobatics and Hyper Beam.
Okay. Yeah, Tailwind and Haze.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but.
It's fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
I don't know why it has Hyper Beam along with Acrobatics either.
No Ghost move on that.
I don't know what. I would love to know what Hyper Beam is tech for. Like, what are you hitting with Hyper Beam that you didn't choose anything else?
Ian, if you're listening, write in.
I want to know.
Why do you have Hyper Beam? Yeah, that's interesting. Unburden, Psychic Seed, Acrobatics. It makes sense, except for the Hyper Beam. It's probably something.
I see one of your Gravity and Espathras in Top Cut there.
Yep. That is I actually didn't fight any of those. I was very grateful because I chose last minute to go Meowscarada over Fluttermane, and that was a good choice. Meowscarada did amazing for me, but I had no game plan into the Gravity Hypnosis nonsense without Sub Flutter.
I see a Sableye in there too. It's not a Rain Dance Sableye, but it's a Sableye.
They never are.
I think I was one of the sets that won. I've been playing around with this on ladder, and it's truly evil. Is Sableye screens, and then it has Encore and Disable.
Yes, it is.
You can use those on the same Mon and force them to struggle.
Yeah, it is mean. I've seen that.
That's rude.
Yeah, it is.
What?
It's actually
Sableye
wonderful.
didn't get screens last gen, did it?
It did not. That was a buff to it this gen. I think.
I
think it's underexplored. I think people are so used to Grim being good that they're not giving Sableye a fair shake.
And Sableye,
did you have screens on your Sableye?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Sableye
like
has so much though going for it. Like, you're talking about you think Grimmsnarl's bad with 4 moves. Like, you could have Fake Out, you can have Quash, you can have Will-O-Wisp.
There's so much on Sableye that
Sorry, go ahead.
I had to choose I definitely wanted screens, definitely needed Rain Dance. I'm like, what's that 4th move gonna be? And I ended up with Foul Play. Just to do something.
Foul Play is
a lot of them are going no attack, which is crazy, but it works. I guess.
You don't see a lot of taunt, so maybe that's something else for people to keep in mind too. Maybe bring to Knoxville, there's something with taunt on there that's not a prankster taunt.
There's a part of me that really wants to run Sableye on a team just because no one wants to play closed team sheet against Sableye, and that will give me better ladder practice. Yeah. I ran into one person while testing this team today with the Encore Disable, and they open sheets please. I put it in chat and they reject it. I'm like, all right,
sucks to be you.
You're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna have fun.
I tried to warn you.
Exactly. I was like, I'm sorry. I will always ask. I will boo. I will never insult you, but I will make it known that I'm sad.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Like, not gonna lie.
But if you get mad that you lost to a tech that you could have clicked a button that I gave you
to see,
yeah.
Then I am going to mock you mercilessly. That is just the way of the world.
Yep. That's fair. Only makes sense.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing with the ladder right now, especially on Showdown. You click that, and they're like, no, it's like, all right, it is while you're playing. It's like, you would have known about this.
You brought this upon yourself.
I will type literally those words like, you would have saw it.
You can't be mad. So, all
right. All right, I found our team. I'm looking through Top Cut here. We got a Great Tux, a Talonflame, a Dragonite, a Goldango, and Dozo. Dozo Tatsu.
That is literally like you and me.
Like if we had a team
doing the fusion dance. Like.
Oh, that is a team. Which one is it? Where to go?
Let's see. It's towards the bottom. 28. Luca Paz.
Yeah, I saw there's a good amount of Band Dragonite. There's a good amount of like Lum multi-scale with Dragon Dance, which is
Saltfest too.
Saltfest and Focus.
AV is actually like quite very underrated because Side Spam has gotten so big now. Is that you can tank those hits and Ice Spinner away their terrain,
and that helps big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the moves. That's one of the moves that you don't see enough, I think, just because of how much NDD. But it's good.
It was my only Side Spam matchup in Series 1. Like that was how I dealt with it.
Yeah.
With Ice Spinner.
Like I didn't see any NDD in Orlando, which is great. But I did not take my Electric Terrain Iron Bundle tech to deal with the NDD. There are some moments where I wish I had it just for the sleep, but like, it would be nice. I think I'm going to be on the something with Ice Spinner, either Dragonite or Great Tusk gets it too, right? No,
it does. I don't think it does.
No,
not too many. Not too many things get Ice Spinner.
Hold on. I must look this up.
Great Tusk might.
Ice Spinner.
Yeah, it totally gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
yeah.
The most of these sets want that slot for Earthquake, but it's still it definitely is justifiable, especially if you're running next to Dragonite. If you're going the Terra Normal route, you like get rid of the terrain and then just start e-speeding things to death.
That's very true. Yeah, I'm excited to see how me and us, but most importantly, Top Cut changes between now and Knoxville, right? It's only 3 weeks.
So we have OCIC this coming weekend, actually. So that will
is that soon?
Yeah. Yep. So that'll be the first event, obviously the first Series 2 event post Orlando, and it'll be really cool to see how these people, because I'm sure everyone going to OCIC has been prepping. Yeah, they've been prepping hard prior to Orlando, right? So I'm sure a lot of them are going to be like, it's not worth messing with the things that I'm comfortable with, but I'm sure a lot of them are also like good enough players to be able to adapt new teams.
There'll be adjustments for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see how people iterate on what did well in Orlando, mix it with what they've already been prepping.
She'll be like, oh wow, that's actually a good idea, and you start
exactly
playing with that.
Yep.
And I think that's just the wonderful thing about Terra, right? It's like there's so many things that are just not obvious, and then you see it and you're like, oh, that's brilliant.
Well, it's like I was looking at Wolfie's, and he's got Terra Grass on his Fluttermane, which is different. Usually see like an offensive like fairy or something like that from it,
or defensive on fire or something, right?
Is that just for sleep?
Must be, and rage powders
because he's running Moonblast.
He doesn't have any spread. And you know that there's a specific setup that he has seen multiple times in practice. Is like, I need it for this. And
I mean, that is such a basic Fluttermane set. It's 4 252 252, right? Like it's
right.
Let's focus Sash. So I mean,
what else are you doing? Yeah, exactly. Is that it for Orlando?
I think that's it for Orlando.
Yeah, this is a great time. It'll be even better next in a couple weeks where we have all three of us there.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like Orlando was great. It was great to see the Pokesports guys in person. It was great to see just a bunch of people, right? Like,
yeah,
whoever.
Yeah, got to meet Moxie, which is pretty cool.
Moxie.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Moxie was cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to him and everyone else we got to meet and talk to.
Yeah, they were trying to collab with the Pokesports guys, and it was like, no, actually, we're here until like almost 11 o'clock at night, so that's probably not happening.
Everyone was so tired. We went. I do think the highlight though was going out to dinner Saturday night with everyone.
Yeah, that was good pho.
It was good pho. It was a hunk of meat. And it was a short rib in the. It was weird. Shout out to all you listeners who are new, because I was leaving these around the venue.
Oh, the fancy
/ hand them to people. So if you got a business card for the Game Corner,
yeah.
Is it littering?
It can't be littering if it's inside.
The problem
is.
I mean, if people pick it up, like it's not littering if someone picks it up, right?
The most littering I did was probably leaving it on the door, leaving the floor.
Okay.
I did a couple of those, and I was like, "This is cheeky." So comments down below or on Spotify or whatever if you are here because you have a card.
You should have mixed it into the bin of trading cards.
Oh, that would have been good. Throw it into the bulk pile, or
yeah.
Like, what was it, the first steps table or whatever? Like, put one in each of those like giant just piles of cards.
Oh yeah.
No one would have seen that. We're definitely TCG centric too, so that would help. Yeah.
What is this? Oh, let me check that out.
Who are these nerds? Anyway, so Orlando was great. Knoxville's gonna be fun. We need to. Rowan, we made a mistake. And Orlando took no pictures. There's no proof that we're together.
You're correct.
That is a fail.
I took almost 0 pictures there. Actually, no, it might be literally 0.
My wife took a picture of the two of us.
You were in a picture. Kevin took a picture with. Saw you in it, I think. At Dave & Buster's.
Oh yeah. No, there is a single picture of me playing the SpongeBob VR game at Dave & Buster's.
Oh, I want to see that picture because you're telling me that and it was so weird.
It was really fun. You like pointed to shoot the bubbles, and so it was me just like blindly pointing into the distance.
I love it. My wife got a picture of us playing Alien, shooting aliens or whatever.
Nice. Okay.
So almost creepy, but in a good way. That's all we have though. So in Knoxville, we have to get a Game Corner picture with all of us together.
Lots of pictures. Take lots of pictures.
There's also a picture. I might make it my profile, but the actual like photographer for the event.
You playing in a mask?
Yes, it's a very.
That's dope.
It's not a good picture. I actually don't think it's a good picture just because of the nature of it.
It's kind of hard to look good in those when you're like concentrating on a game and you have a mask on. Like,
yeah,
it's like you don't get a shot of your face, and you're probably making a really dumb face while you're thinking. Like,
oh yeah, all of my faces are dumb. I did get a picture with USPA Florida, which is cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
And that's a whole story that'll be posted somewhere maybe. I'll try and tweet it if it's out. Anywho, we'll do that. What else do we have going on?
I wanted to. I know we're not doing shout outs yet, but I guess I want to just plug this. Do we have anything else before we start plugging stuff?
I want to say no, actually, because I think everything else we're going to talk about is just various plugs.
Cool.
That doesn't mean leave. Continue to listen if you're or watch if you're here. Please.
I thought you were talking to us, not the listeners.
No, listening to chat.
So I talked about this last week, but I was talking about an app to search for replays on Showdown. I think it's really helpful. I actually got a lot of like some good ideas for my own team, just using it and testing. So it's called Replay Genie. I had it in beta for a week. No one found anything glaringly wrong with it, which might be
because you didn't give it to me.
Because I didn't pay anybody, and I didn't give it to.
You're not doing it on Apple.
Yeah, not yet. No, so it is Android only. I am an Android developer by trade. I need to expand my portfolio for unfortunate reasons. So it will come to iOS soon. I have written at least one relatively large-scale iOS app. They're similar concepts, so I should.
I'm installing it now.
Yeah, but it is on the app. I clicked the button to publish it from beta to production earlier today. It is officially up. You can download Replay Genie. It is a picture of Landorus, is the app icon. Should be very obvious to find.
It's also by Rowan Hall.
It just says Rowan Hall as the developer too. So yeah, we're just gonna hope that nobody minds this for legal reasons. But if that happens, I may have to take it down. If that does happen, I'm just gonna start giving people APKs. You can sideload it on your device and still use it if you want. I think it's very useful. But yeah, it's out. Give it a look. And the dark mode works. Nice.
Dark mode works. Yes.
Huzzah.
Also, cool. There's a reflection of Sheldon in my phone. This is great.
Hello. Okay. Me.
Yeah. But yeah, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. There's the one issue that it currently has that I cannot fix, unfortunately, is that you can search for multiple Pokemon, but it's inclusive rather than exclusive search. So like, if you search for Arcanine and Amoonguss, you're going to get replays that have Arcanine and or Amoonguss. Some of the replays will only have one of them, is the point, right? So I may just make it so you can only search for one in the future if this starts confusing people, but I think that it's more control is better than less, and if you are confused and only search for one Pokemon, it's a problem with Google Firebase that I should use a better backend than that, but I am not a server dev, so I'm not going to unless someone builds it for me. So
just do regular expressions for the search. It's fine.
It's like a NoSQL data store. We don't need to dive into this here.
Is
the
searching
point.
for Screamtail, Fluttermane, Gothitelle, Among Us, Palafin, and
I'm pretty sure Wolfie has his replays privated. But very cool thing you can do on there. I have it so you can filter by ELO, by your ranking.
Yes.
If you select unranked, it will show you only replays that have no ELO associated with it. And what you'll generally find there is tournament games. Any tournament that where people match up on Showdown instead of... you'll also just get people's random games that they played with their friends and then upload the replay. Cool, but yeah, I actually think that you find better quality teams using unranked than you do with 1700 plus.
Makes sense.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Makes sense. Though.
Anyway, yeah, check it out. That's my self plug.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
We are going to open up the Battle Corner again.
There we go.
So we're gonna have, I think, when this episode comes out, it'll be in the link tree. I'll put it there, and also in the Discord, same as before. We're going to, I think, probably have it open for a week-ish. It's probably fine. We want to try and get as much of that practice in before Knoxville as possible. So I've open for a week. And then we're just going to do kind of like the same thing. I've liked the ways that we've been running the Battle Corner mostly because it is just, hey, you can see the bracket, just get your games done ASAP.
Yep.
And so trying to
play as soon as you can kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's really nice and flexible. With that said, if people really do want weekend tournaments, we can look into actually setting the time aside to do it. It's just a lot more work for us. So we want to know that people are actually interested in that. I will be fine to take a Saturday in TO. I've taken Saturdays to play before, so it's not the end of the world. But I feel like there's room for the flexibility of this kind of tournament in the community because there are already amazing people like Beanie who are and Nino who are doing the normal style like full weekend tour that kind of mimics a regional. And I feel like this kind of thing allows you to get best of 3 practice while not like dedicating
it's not stress. You kind of take a little bit of the stress out of it.
It's a lot less stressful too.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that. Like if I'm going to like a regional or tournament or something, it's one thing, you know, because I've already set that time aside. But like just my normal life, I don't want to spend all day looking at my Switch or something, you know.
We already do that. We already spend so much of our normal life playing this game and doing practice and whatnot.
Yeah. But no, I practice at work. Come on now, be real.
Well, don't say that too loud. Niagara's Arm, though, if there's enough interest, so you can comment down below or bother us on Discord or whatever. And of course, I do like the idea. I do want us to run at least 1 or 2 in the next few months, which sounds like not a whole lot, but also sounds like a whole lot. Depends on which side of the tournament you're on. So we'll do something at least, especially if there's a lot of interest for it.
Yeah, Series 2 is going on for at least another month, even after February. I think it's through the end of March.
It's through March, yeah.
So this will be relevant practice for a while.
Yep.
Even if it doesn't quite make
for
it
Knoxville and Charlotte Series 2 too. So
exactly
2-2. Which series is that?
A couple of years from now.
Right. So speaking of practice, we are still trying to do the weekly-ish practice corner in the Discord. So jump on in there. Thursday nights and Friday nights are the 2 nights we've been kind of doing that consistently. I know Sheldon likes to stream on one of those nights. I'm gonna try and stream this week because it's been a while. So I might be doing that as well, which that can be part of practicing as well. If people want to jump on a cart or even showdown or whatever, I'll have OBS scenes for that. That's what you did the first time a couple weeks ago. So that's been fun. It's been fun to have some more of that kind of community engagement on Discord for all of us to, get together, practice, team build,
hang out,
talk, hang out, all that fun stuff. So look forward to that. I've been trying to do like the Discord events in the Discord, so you can kind of like see a little notification on it. So you can like sign up, I guess, whatever. You can show your interest. So that's cool. Is that it? Is that it for the game corner and practice corner and battle corner? How many corners do we have?
All the corners. We can
need at least 4. Need at least 4.
No, triangles have corners.
Yeah, sure. A cube has 8 corners.
8 corners, yeah. So there's
we can add more corners.
There's a lot of shapes. I don't have a dice on me, or I'd show up a D20.
Game dodecahedron at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All corners.
Yeah.
So there's that. Our link tree is down below. It's gonna have the stuff we're about to talk about because I'm getting ahead of myself, and also our Patreon. So if you want to support us there, just $1 a month is our thing, our only tier. Just shows our support, keeps things up and running, whether it be Riverside or Firebase for Rowan's app or whatever.
Oh god, yeah, I do have to pay for that now.
Oh, did you get to the point of having to pay for it?
It's very cheap. Actually, it's very cheap, but only my beta testers are using it, so I'm a little nervous. We're gonna see what it's like once it's released. I'll foot the bill for a month at least, and then maybe ask for some support.
Yep.
We'll see if it's expensive or not. Yeah. Do you want to wrap this thing up?
Let's do it. So I've been Harrison. You can find me at Twitter and Twitch at row_ixon. I'll be streaming sometime in the next few days after this comes out, or today on the day it comes out. Who are you guys?
I'm Rowan. You can find me on Twitter, Rowan W. Hall, YouTube, Rowan Hall. I have just, before this comes out, I have a video scheduled for release. That'll be Thursday, February 9th. It is a little run through of my team from Orlando, and then a couple of 3 Battle Stadium battles with it to actually give an idea of how it runs. So check me out. And
this is Sheldon. Find me at Captain_Unova on Twitter and Captain Unova on Twitch. I'll be streaming this Thursday.
Maybe I won't stream on Thursday then. Maybe I'll stream Friday. We'll see.
Compete with each other.
Or that. And we've been the Game Corner, and I'd like to go ahead and say thank you to RobKTA and Game Chops for the use of our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner, off of the Ultraball album. You can find us on Twitter at Game Corner VGC. You can find us on Discord and link down below. Everything's in the link tree. I have to change my script for that because it's just one link down below, and then all the other links are in that one link. But anyway, if you click that link, you can find everything that we ever talk about.
Links on links on links.
Yeah, it's like a link. It's like a tree of links. Shocking. Anyway, next week we'll talk about something. I don't know. I'm not here.
Oh yeah, that's the leaving us on our own.
We'll talk about that offline.
One of us.
That's scary.
or we record right now. Now,
welcome to the Game Corner.
welcome back to the Game Corner. All right, y'all. Until next time, press start and game on. Bye.